So one of the biggest things, again, that stops people, like I said earlier, procrastination is the number one. The number two, let's say you've got a great idea and you think you might like to teach it, or, you know, like the saying, like everyone's got a book in them, you know, it's something like 85% of people actually want to write a book. I'm like, wow. But I've really realized everyone has a book in them, has a training, maybe wants to be a coach of some kind, has learned a skill, whether it's in their personal life, in their work life, in their romantic life, whether it's when they had a baby, whatever it is. They learnt a skill and they go, I could teach this. So I think a lot of people get to there and then they procrastinate. Oh, should I do that, or that? And they get stuck. Then they move through that. They maybe even create a website. They create a program, which, like I said earlier, there is so many tools available now. Mike Filsame that was on his Groove Digital is basically every single application that you could need to start your business. It's mind-blowing. Even a year ago, this didn't exist. God, you imagine 10 years ago, you didn't have anything like this. So starting, setting up a website, building a course seems really scary, but you don't even need to hire tech people anymore. It's so simple. But let's say you get to there. The next big roadblock, how am I going to get traffic? Well, obviously you can use social media, the power of social media. You don't need a lot of money. If you don't have money, this is, I'm just assuming. Who wants to risk a lot of money starting a business when there's no need to? As long as you've got a little bit of time. You know, and even if you're, you know, I encourage people, if you're in a job now or you've got a different business, an offline business, I'm not saying, hey, quit it all and start this. This is the other great thing about online. Everyone's got an hour a day, an hour a week. I think we find, like, okay, I know I'm busy. You'll probably watch TV for an hour before you go to bed, maybe 2 hours. When's your relaxed time? Now, I'm not saying that's not easy. You've got to actually really, like, you know, do some work. But that's what I encourage people to do. You can start your online business while you still get your income. Again, what's one of the amazing things about it? And then wait till you get successful enough and you're making enough money to replace your income. And then maybe you go, okay, now I can go full-time or part-time or whatnot. But getting back to the next big stopper is, how do I get traffic? For me, I just realized through joint ventures, affiliates, talking to people. Again, you can meet them on social media, is so easy. You can meet them at live events. You can meet people everywhere. Very, very simply. I mean, we obviously teach little strategies and tricks on how to find people, how to connect with them. But what I found was just the easiest way was using affiliates. Why did I think that was the easiest? It's risk-free money. Sure, you could spend $50, you know, to get a $100 sale, let's just say, whether it was on Google or whatever the medium is. But wouldn't you prefer to get someone to get you the $100 sale and then pay them $50? No risk. I call it free money, risk-free money. People, oh, but you pay a percentage, because that's how affiliates work. They sell your product for you and you pay them a percentage, depending on what it is, but in our space it's around a 50% commission. Now, oh, would I pay 50%? No, you got 50% for free, if that makes sense. So that's the number one thing I love about affiliate marketing or joint venture marketing, is there's no risk. You can do it without any money. So what I did in the beginning, I just chose to go down that line. I chose to learn it myself. And as I said earlier, I made all the mistakes. And, you know, like I said, years later, I wrote a book on it, I started training it. Why? Because so no one else has to make all those basic mistakes. And when you know them, they are basic, you know. And then I chose to then I got a little bit more advanced, so I learned how to do product launches. And again, you can buy great courses to do that. And then what did I do? Okay, I continued to learn. I kind of taught myself, because there was no training on how do I get affiliates? How do I motivate affiliates? How do I actually get them to do what they say they're going to do? These things that seem really obvious, but I worked all that out and created training around it because, hey, no one teaches it. So I just got better at it, learned all the lessons, and then started my first 5 years of my business. I just did a product launch 2 or 3 times a year. I did that. Right, that worked. do it again. And that's no matter where you choose to start. Get one thing that works, then don't, this is another killer. After procrastination, shiny object. Every entrepreneur in the world has it. Oh, this worked, I'm gonna do that now, I'm gonna do that now, we've all done it. We all suffer from this affliction. But don't do that. Do the one thing, get good at it, do it again, do it again, do it again. Now, my way I did that was affiliates, product launches. That was just the way that I chose to do it. Then I more shifted into a lot of affiliates. I still use affiliates are still probably equate to a third of my business. It's a great medium. Yeah, sure, we've evolved and learned a lot more and we use other forms of traffic as well. But to me, affiliate marketing is not the be all end all, but it's the simplest way, risk-free, to start your business. If you can just learn these few basic psychological communication skills and implement them, get that little bit out of your comfort zone, and you can build a business. I mean, I built Mind Movies very quickly over the first few years, to incredible volume. I don't know if I want to say volume, say numbers and stuff, do you? I think it's a bit tacky, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a bit tacky. No, I wasn't going to, but I just thought, oh, what should I say that to? Why should you listen to me? Well, because this is what I did. This is what I did with this. So again, this is the power of joint venture marketing or affiliates. I spent about a year, being a D, like I said, like reaching out to people, getting people, doing little things. And then I learned how to do this product launch stuff, which again, I teach now. Back then there was some courses around, but not the affiliate side of stuff. So again, I worked it out. And then a year or so, a little bit more than a year after starting the business, I did a product launch. And this is mind-blowing. I'll give you an idea. It took us about a year and a half, say, to build an email list of 8,000 people, which, hey, it was great. We had a real business, right? And then I did a product launch with all affiliates. Now remember, I didn't spend any money on traffic. They promoted me. I did this big product launch and I built an 80,000 email list. From then on, and believe me, the problems, and believe me, I'm not saying start your business, do a product launch. You really don't want to do that. There's a lot of moving parts. We got merchant accounts shut down, email shut down, money locked, it was an absolute disaster. But I'd learn enough to get the affiliates. I'd learn enough to, build the websites and make the actual, conversions and things like that work. So even though it was a disaster, I built my business. And then from then on, it was like a launching pad. And we reached, I think from that first one, we sold about 8,000 of that program, 8,000 units of that program. So think about that. We absolutely changed 8,000 lives. The 80,000 people that, were opted in for our information, we were changing their lives. And then from then on, obviously, we just expanded. To date, tens and tens of millions of people have been changed because I thought way back then, how am I going to do this? I'll do it this way. Like I said earlier, it doesn't matter how you do it. I chose this way, which is why I like to teach this way, because that's how I did it. I don't like when people teach what they didn't do, But yeah, so today, I've been pinching myself for a decade. I can't believe what this did. And like I said, not easy, but simple. If you've just got the right tools, the right information, which as I said earlier, you can get anywhere. So you've got your program and now it's time to get traffic. Now, what does traffic mean? Traffic is basically like if you've got a store, people that walk in your door, that's traffic. We call it eyeballs. And all that means is how much, get a person to your website, get a people to your blog post, right? We call that person traffic, right? So, I chose to use affiliate marketing to get traffic, which means I would meet someone, connect with them. Can you send an email to your list promoting my website? And then, sometimes I might do the same for them. But that traffic that's sent or clicks people to your website, call it visitors to your website, we define as traffic. Now, what's the other way to get eyeballs, visitors, traffic? You can do posts on you can put YouTube videos up. You can post on your Facebook page, your Instagram page, your TikTok, put links in and get people, visitors, that is. And then of course there's the paid, paid ads and all those things, which is obviously a higher skill set. And like I said, I didn't love in the beginning because I didn't know how to do it, number one. Too risky, number two, just way too expensive. So one of the biggest mistakes is we create our program, we get an offer, and we need to work out whether that offer actually converts. As in, okay, if I send 100 people to that website, how much money will it make and how much did it cost me to send those 100 people, right? So what a lot of people do is they go and buy Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Instagram ads, paid, we call that paid media. There's lots of ways to buy traffic, as I said, but very, very risky. What if you don't know that your website converts because you don't have the knowledge yet? Even if you do have the knowledge, you need to test that before you want to be paying money up front to see. Now, again, this is why I love affiliates. You develop some relationships. You say, hey, can you send me some clicks or some traffic? I haven't tested it. Always be honest and transparent. Don't ruin that relationship. Don't exaggerate. Can't stress this enough. Always do the right thing. Always be honest and transparent. And yeah, is it the right thing to do and the moral thing to do? Absolutely. But the real thing, it's the smart thing to do. Don't burn the relationship, because that relationship could be worth millions to you. I've got relationships that are worth 8 figures to me. Incredible relationships. So just in the beginning, I don't have any conversions. I don't really know. I don't understand that stuff. If you don't, can you send me 100 clicks, 1,000 clicks, whatever? Send an email to your list or post my link on your Facebook page, whatever it is, to get visitors. Doesn't cost anything. Now, sure, they're taking a big risk there, but you say, hey, if you do that for me, I'll do X for you. I'll post on my Instagram or I'll send to my email list. So the big difference, like I said earlier, it's like there's no risk there. The only risk is if you're not transparent and you ruin the relationship. But if you're transparent, there's zero risk. If it doesn't work out, okay, well, you'll make good with the other person, the favor you've asked for. But you've at least got some numbers now. And we talked earlier about failing. Well, you're always going to fail. The thing is, when you fail with that, it didn't cost you any money. So to me, I would never, ever, even today, use paid media. People do, don't get me wrong. They're prepared, I've got $10,000 I'm prepared to waste to test that offer. I don't do that. I will, if you've got your own list, obviously you email your list first, then I will ask, like I said, joint venture partners to do that. There's no way to do that